What's up, everyone? We're going to be going over my Punk Genesys deck list as of the December 2025 points list. Now it's January 2026. Was originally running Punk Gold Pride back when Genesys first got announced, but the Gold Pride, I think it's fun and it does have a lot of interaction on your opponent's turn. It is very hard to go from Gold Pride back into Punk. If you start with a Gold Pride hand, you're basically done for. So hopefully this list is with the teleport psychic stuff, very much a mix of both, as opposed to some lists which I know which are very much on the psychic side. This is very much a mix of both. So let's get started. Our first card is going to be obviously 3 Z Armin. This is your main card. This is the best card. It wouldn't be a Punk deck without a Z Armin in it. Everything revolves around Z Armin going well. We love a Z Armin. Next up, a card that I was surprised didn't get points is Rising Scale. Rising Scale is really, really good. Rising Scale is a amazing starter if you can start with it. You do need another Punk name in your hand. That includes spells and traps so you can have in your hand to get started with it. But I love this card. I think Rising Scale is a really, really good addition to the deck. And hopefully we can get a couple more cards a bit like Rising Scale added into the deck to make it a bit more viable in TCG2. Next up is going to be 3 Ogre Dance. This card isn't bad. This is definitely one of the cards that you cut down to 2 if you really felt like it. But I don't think this is necessarily bad at all, having all of these in the deck. Z Armin is the card that you least want to see in your hand by itself. In terms of Punk names, if you're having Z Armin in your hand, you want to have another Punk name in your hand. But if you just have Ogre Dance in your hand, you're actually pretty good, because it lets you start off pretty well in a format where Ash is basically pointed out. You know, some decks still do run Ash, but Droll is pointed out 100%. So Ogre Dance value has gone up a lot with less Ashes being played and basically 0 Droll. Now, we are only running the 2 Foxy Tune because it is our first pointed card at 5 points apiece. And I just needed the extra points for some other stuff. If it was up to me, if in a perfect world, we'd have 2 Ogre Dance and 3 Foxy Tune. But this is a good card. It lets us dump out spare cards from our hand into the grave. Special summon out a Z Armin from our deck, so we don't need to commit our normal, which is really, really, really good. I like Foxy Tune a lot. Probably worth the 5 points added onto this guy. It is a starter, which you don't need to commit your normal summon to, so I see the 5 points on this. Dino is really good. It just lets us get special summon out any of our Punks from our hand, including itself, which is really, really good. It lets us reborn a Punk from the grave when it's sent to the graveyard, which is really, really good. So it lets us extend it as well. Like, I've been playing a lot of Punk. Punk's probably been my most played deck since I've come back to the game. And I would say Punk Dino is perfect at 2 in pretty much all Punk builds. Run 2 Dino because you need 1 to make your Dragon Drive, and opening 1 is not the worst thing in the world. Okay, now we're going to come over to our one-offs. 1 Madam Spider, 1 Wagon, 1 Shirakusai. Shirakusai lets us fusion into the fish, and these 2 searches out a spell, searches out a trap. If you don't want to play the trap, you could cut Madam Spider, but I think the traps are really, really good in this version of the deck. So I am playing the Spider, and the field spell. It's really, really good. Here they are. Jam Extreme Session. This says draw 2 cards on it. That's usually 33 points or something, or 30 points or whatever Polygrade's at. And this is a monster negate and a heal. So as long as we control a Punk monster on our side of the field, this will. So start again. So this card it will negate a monster effect. And if we also have a punk card on the field, we gain life points equal to that monster's attack. Very, very good card. It was playing the Shwari Surprise, the other punk trap, which is just a pop in Gold Pride, which I think is better. But in this deck, our life points get really, really low really, really quickly. So getting the heal is actually never, never bad, I don't think. So it lets us play on turn 3. But that is it for the punk stuff. Let me just move those out of the way. And we're going to go over to the psychic stuff. We'll start with Serene Psychic Girl. The Serene Psychic Girl just lets us summon out another psychic, basically, and then modulate levels of some of our guys so we can synchro easier. This is a really, really good card. This is a brilliant starter. And then we also have Mind Procedure. So these cards are basically the same, because if you start Serene Psychic Girl, use its effect to summon out this. And if you start with Mind Procedure, use its effect to summon out this. So these are basically the same 6 cards. And then if you summon out this first, to summon this, and this summons out Z-Armin. If you summon out this first, this summons out this, and then this summons out Z-Armin, okay? These are the same lines, basically. This guy's really good. He can be treated as a non-tuner for psychic monster, non-tuner for psychic synchros. So he's really, really good. He can resummon himself if he's ever banished too. So this guy's really hard to knock off the board. I just hate that some of these new psychic guys are all in common. I wish some of them were shiny. This is the only, like literally is this, and like 2 of the extra deck guys are shiny. Oh, I should probably leave these out because we're still on this part of the profile. There we go. Then we're going to go into 3 prototype Psychic Blaster. You could maybe cut this down to 2 and add in Parallel Teleport or maybe something else non-engine if you wanted to. So this is one of the cards you could probably cut down to 2. But this guy, you can just pitch him from your hand and special summon out any level 4 or lower psychic, so you don't have to commit your normal summon. And then later in the turn, you can just resummon him by banishing another psychic in your grave. So you can get 6 stars in the board. 6 plus 3 is 9, which is really, really good for our extra deck. So I really like this guy. He lets us not have to commit our normal summon. I really like it, so that's why I'm playing 3. But again, you could maybe just get away with... You could definitely get away with running 2 if you're not a big fan of this guy. I like him though. I like him. Then we got 1 Psychic Hush Psychic Minister. This is our main Dragon Drive search, which lets us extend really, really far. So this guy can be special summoned as long as you have a psychic on the field, which is really, really good. And then in the grave, he has a pseudo SP Little Knight effect where he banishes himself plus another psychic from your grave to banish 1 card on your opponent's side of the field until the end phase. So kind of like a little SP effect. Well, no, it doesn't even have to be on your opponent's side of the field. It's on any side of the field, sorry. So you can do this on your own turn, which is actually really useful. So you can send stuff to the banish and then just pull it back out again using some of our extra deck monsters. So this guy, very, very good. Just the 1-of because we just search him out. Then obviously we've got our teleport cards, which are going to be Teleport Fusion and 1 E-Tele. E-Tele being 35 whole points. Very, very strong card. Teleport Fusion just lets us fusion using materials from our field and graveyard, banish them, and fuse a psychic monster. Pretty standard stuff. It does have an extra effect where it lets you reborn a extra deck guy as well, an additional effect, which is pretty good. But E-Tele, if you start E-Tele, you get to use this guy 3 times. It's stupid. If you don't start E-Tele, you get to use it twice if you want to, or you just once if you want to. This is really good because Mind Procedure lets us search out any teleport card to our hand from deck or grave. So if you start E-Tele, you can E-Tele out Serene Psychic Girl. Serene Psychic Girl will then summon out Mind Procedure. Mind Procedure will re-add the Telly to our hand, and Telly will get us out Z-Armin, and then one of our extra deck guys can reset E-Telly for us, or Teleport Vision. Most of the time with Teleport Vision, but you could reset E-Telly. It's kind of stupid. It's basically like you've got 3 copies, and for only 35 points. Very, very, very good. I know some lists aren't running E-Telly at all. I think E-Telly is really, really good. There's a reason why this card was banned for a long ass time. But that's it for our Psychic engine, our Psychic Teleport engine. We're going to move on to our non-engine, which is going to be 2 Ghost Ogre. These cards were just like filling up the space, but Ghost Ogre is searchable from Dragon Drive, so if you need an extra search target, we can search this out. I like running Ghost Ogre. I think Ghost Ogre is my favorite. Because you can just move stuff off the field to the grave where your opponent doesn't really want it, which I think is really, 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 really good. I like this. Yeah, these are 3 points each. I just wanted to up my points a bit because I had a couple of points left over. We'll say we're at 99 points in this deck, so you could axe both of these to run a 7-point card if you wanted to, but I like both of these. We're also running 2 free hand traps and Skullmeister. These could be crows if you wanted. I'm just testing out Skullmeister. I think this card's pretty good. It's just kind of a fun card to use. Just negate a graveyard effect. Really, really good. And then we are running 6 board breakers. One of them is Super Poly. This is 13 points. I will show you some variations where some things you can add in instead of the Super Poly if you don't want to run the Super Poly. Because this is a one-of that is like, which isn't searchable. So there is a one if you don't feel like this is hitting you all that much. I just think this card's really, really broken. This card should be like 20 points or something. I like this card a lot. It's unrespondable completely, which I think is really, really good. And you just get to clear stuff off your opponent's board, especially now. Ligadenser is basically pointed out of the game. There are still towers in the game, but none of them are as bad. Most of those towers you can hit over without fear of being just regekied away before you even get to the point. So Super Poly is really, really, really nice. I like this card a lot. I think this card is stupid broken, and I see why Artmage runs 3 out of it. And to pair with the Super Poly, we are running 2 Ulti Slayers too. So if you wanted to, you could just ditch the Super Poly and just run all 3 Ulti Slayers in the main. I have my 3rd one in the side, but I like Ulti Slayer. You just send a extra deck card and you get to destroy, bounce, a corresponding extra deck monster on your opponent's side. And then most of the time, the guy you're sending has an additional effect when it's in the grave. Like Garura, Meilong, or Aggregator, that's what he's called, right? The Exodus guy. This card's really, really good. The big difference is that your opponent can respond to this with spells and traps. They can't respond to this at all. But if they do respond to this with a spell or trap, they can chain their own monsters to their chained spell or trap. So they can still get to this with monster effects. If it's like, so this is chain 1, they respond to this with a spell or trap at chain 2, their monsters can then be chain 3 and target this. So if it's like a target negate or whatever. So be careful. Whereas Super Poly is completely unrespondable. And then our last 3 cards for 40 cards is Dark Ruler in the main. I know lots of people don't like running Dark Ruler in the main. Lots of people running this in the side. I'm trying this out in the main. I quite like it. We have plenty of ways to discard this out of our use this as discard fodder if we need to. It is in our hand going fast turn 1, game 1, But I think Dark World is really, really good. I'm actually going to probably start using this TCG. And in Macedon, now that Yummy's in the game. In Macedon, I like this card a lot in Genesys. Very, very good card. Very, very good card. It lets us set up and just win. Okay, we're going to go to the extra deck now. Our Super Poly, sorry, Ulti Slayer cards, Melong, Aggregator, and Garua. This lets us draw when it gets into the grave. This is an extra pop when it gets into the grave. This is a negate when it gets into the grave. So we get these are typical Ulti Slayer targets. We got one of each of our P.U.N.K names. Just be careful with this because Serene Psychic Girl plus one of our other extra deck cards is going to Psychic lock us. So these two are the only non-psychics, aside from our Ulti Slayer targets, that aren't psychic. So just be careful that you can lock yourself out of these two cards. But if you start P.U.N.K engine, you float through the P.U.N.K engine first before you get to the psychic engine. You don't have to worry about it because you summon these two, but you get through these two before you get to psychic stuff anyway. But if you start psychic engine, just be careful. You can't use these guys if you start with Serene Psychic Girl. But negate, really, really good. Serene Psychic Girl and Mind Procedure let you get this up, summon 5 way more consistently as was before. Without the psychic stuff, the psychic teleport stuff, this was only your 5th summon if you started Rising Scale. If you started Z Armin or Ogre Dance or Foxy Tune or whatever with Z Armin summon, this was your 6th. But if Rising Scale start, Serene Psychic Girl start, Mind Procedure start, E-Telly start, this is always 5th. This is always 5th. This is 4, and you overlay this on top as your 5th. And especially with Droll being pointed up, Nib is a bit more prevalent, even though it's 1 point more than it used to be. But people are just, finding 3 extra points to replace their Nib, their Drolls with Nibs. So if we can check the Nib, really, really good. Otherwise, we kind of get rolled over. But this is good. Okay, I am missing a card for this, but I'll go over it in a second. I just don't have it at the moment. I ordered it and it hasn't arrived. I'm borrowing one for the 20s from someone at Locals, but we've got Serene Psychic Girl. We have Silent Psychic Magician, who is the one that's missing. Cross Mind Archfiend and Psychic Blaster Mark II. So the Magician, who's not here, when he's summoned, you can just grab a guy from Banished, summon him, and you can choose to up its level by 1. And if you do, you can make this guy because he's 5, the new guy's 4, and this is 9. So it's just a climbing guy, really. Serene Psychic Girl, really, really, really strong card. Just a common. Why? Konami, please, can we? And this guy's a common, and this guy's a super. Like, why is everything shit? But Serene Psychic Girl, you pay 2 when this is synchroed. You pay 2k, and you just set a teleport spell, either your E-Tally or your teleport fusion. Most of the time, teleport fusion, but you could reset E-Tally to bring out Shirakusai on your opponent's turn to synchro into Amazing Dragon on your opponent's turn if you have an 8 lying around in your field too. But most of the time it's teleport fusion. And then when it goes to the grave, if it goes to the grave, you get to bounce 1 card in your opponent's field. But if you have a psychic on your side of the field still, you get to bounce 2. This is very, very good. This card's very, very good. I like this card a lot. Crossmind Archfiend, another guy that lets you fetch back anything that's level 7 or under from the banish, resummon it to your side of the field. Then also, you can tribute 1 monster on your side of the field to up its attack by your tributed monster's attack. It's good if if your opponent's trying to pop one of your monsters, instead of them getting a free pop, you can just tribute it instead and get an attack on this guy. Most of the time, this is a stopgap for a climb. You can bring it back, Serene Psychic Girl, plus this to go into a you can bring back one of your level 3s plus this from the banish, plus this to go into I think 11 Pep or Jerushu. I can't remember his name. I play him all the time though. Psychic Blaster Mark 2. This guy's new and really, really good. Well, he's not that new. He's just advanced. But this guy I really, really like. So he has 2 effects. You can only use 1 effect per turn though, so choose which one you want to use. But his first effect is you can banish 1 card from your grave, and then you target an opponent's monster, banish it, and gain life points equal to the banished monster's attack. Really, 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 really nice, because very often with this deck, you get down to like between 1 to 2k life points if you do everything, turn 1. So you can get a big juice back with this. And then its other effect is just retrieve any card from banished and special summon it. Or is it any monster? Sorry, it's any monster. Yeah, you can special summon back any banished monster. Any. Which could be this guy, and this guy can bring back another guy. This guy could bring back Silent Psychic Magician, and Psychic Magician can bring back another guy too. You can just keep bringing back guys. Very, very strong. And this guy's like 3200, pretty beefy. I like this card a lot. I like this guy. A very, very fun card. We have our level 11s, Jerushin and Pep. Pep needs no introduction. If you're turn 2, if you're going second, summon this guy. If you're going turn 1, summon this guy. He heals you. And then you get to just write either Regeki or Feather Dust to your opponent for 15k. But he costs 15k life points. So make sure that you've healed enough before you use this guy, okay? Otherwise, you're just gonna Sabuku yourself. But Pep, I find sitting on Pep going fast is a bit annoying. But going second or is broken, and then you just summon him if on turn 3 and kill that way. And then we have our 2 fusions, our 2 newish fusions. This is a retrain of the ultimate Accent Kicker. So this is absolute Accent Kicker. You can see he requires a psychic synchro monster plus any other synchro monster. So he's a bit of a pain to get out, but teleport fusion usually gets this done pretty easily. And when he's fusion summoned, you can pay 2k life points and just banish all of your opponent's face-up cards, or banish them all for 2k. Very, 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 very strong effect. He can't be destroyed by card effects either. And he's 34, so he's pretty beefy. And if he gets into the grave, he floats into this guy. This guy's easier to actually make. As you can see, he's 1 psychic monster plus a Synchro Xyz or Link monster. So you can super poly this just by summoning a psychic guy on your side of the field. Or if you're playing the mirror, you can just snipe your opponent's mirror. But this guy basically is High King Wave Caesar. High Wave King Caesar. You can negate a special summon with them. Negate and destroy a special summon, and obviously has to be a proper special summon, not one that's part of an effect. And then also, if he gets into the grave, he can reborn himself. So if they do out him before you get to use the effect, you can just reborn him and then do it again. And then teleport fusion lets you reborn him again as well. Very, very good card. Oh, and he also gets attack points based on how many extra monsters are used to make him. So if you use this psychic monster is also a synchro fusion or Xyz, as well as this one, he gets 2k. But if you already use the 1, he gets an extra 1k for like 2 turns, which is enough to close out the game. So I like these guys a lot. These guys are very, very nice. I hope we get a couple more fusion guys to add to the lineup in the future. I'm going to quickly mention the side. I'm not going to go over it too much, but the other trap, just in case we need to swap it out. 2 DD Crows just to fill the space, really. Gravity Collapse. This guy card is kind of dummy stupid. You just tribute a synchro and your opponent can't summon anymore. They summon, you flip this, you tribute a synchro, and then it destroys the card and they're not allowed to summon for the rest of the turn. And this got 0 points. It's kind of stupid. It is completely unsearchable though, so maybe that's why. Some back row is Twin Twister. You would think Cyclone to lose our life points, but we play too close to the sun with our life points hitting 0 in this deck, so that's why I'm playing Twin Twister. Honestly, I could just play MST. I wouldn't be amiss to just playing MST, because discarding isn't I'm not a big fan of it, but the double hit is pretty nice. So, we'll take it. Triple Kaijus. Just Genesys, I don't know. Kaijus are just really stupid good. Our third copy of Ulti Slayer, and some extra deck guys to swap out Ulti Slayers if we're going fast. We keep Guru in for Super Poly, obviously, and then we can take out Meilong and Aggregator for an extra Jam Fever. Extra Jam Fever is good if you end up using your negate. You can hard make a second one, and I didn't really know what to put. I'm thinking about adding Mud Dragon to the main and taking out Crossmind Archfiend. So that's why this is kind of just here, just in case I do add Mud Dragon to the main extra deck. So, and then we can move Crossmind Archfiend here. So this slot, but we can make 6s, and this is a pretty decent 6. So because you can just book them in all your opponent's stuff, so they don't get to activate their effects. I was using this with Gold Pride stuff, and this is better with Leon in Gold Pride because you can do it on your opponent's turn and disrupt them on their turn. But who knows? This is also a tuner, so you can use it for as a tuner if you want. Now I'm going to quickly go over some alternatives if you don't want to play Super Poly. So we're at 99 points. If we take out Super Poly, that gives us 14 points to work with, right? Which means if we take out our Super Poly, we can just instantly add in 2 Fuas. This is a 40 card deck, so if you wanted just to straight add 2 Fuas, it'd be 41. Again, you can take out a Prototype Blaster if you wanted to keep the 40. Just add 2 Fuas. Alternatively, these could be Veilers if you prefer Veiler. They're both 7 points. Or Judgment. I wouldn't play Judgment in this deck. Again, we're playing too close to the sun with the life points. But yeah, double Fua I think is really good. I think Fua is really good. I played Dragon Rulers the other week. I dropped a Fua, stopped them from making a full board, and I just cleaned up next turn. This basically tells your opponent to stop playing, which is in a game with no Ash and no Droll, stupid strong. And then the other option we have is we take out Super Poly, and we also take out an Ogre Dance to go into 3 Foxy Tunes plus 3 extra hand traps. These are all 3 points. But this could be 3 of these, this, or alternatively, Dark Hole is also 3 points, so you could add in 3 Dark Holes if you wanted to play more breakers. Or Upside Goblin is also 3 points. These are all 3-point options, so if you wanted any variation of those, I think kind of work. Upside Goblin is just like 5 quid for a common, so that's kind of stupid. But I think the hand traps are probably better because you get to draw a little bit. So if you wanted to, I think this is not bad. Again, this will bring you up to 42, which I think the difference between 40 and 42 is nothing. But if you really wanted to cut some stuff to make these, you could cut the Skullmeisters, or you can just cut the maybe like a Mind Procedure and a Psychic and a Prototype Blaster. as well to keep it down to 40 if you wanted to. But that's if you wanted to not play Super Poly, which I get it. You could just take out Super Poly and Ergonan to put these 4 in instead. That's the list. Hope it was worth it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I haven't rambled too much. Hope you like the new setup too. Everything's a bit more high quality and not dusty. And that's it. All right. Bye.